Stop.
Kigaru Tarot.
For entertainment purposes only.
Only?
Only.
Hi friends, this is Terry from Kigaru Tarot, and I am going to continue with my manifestation series. I am out in my backyard. I got my two pups with me. You might hear them. And at one point I'm sitting by my brother's art here again. He did Tinkerbell for me, and I love all the little stars coming down. It's really pretty. So today, this is going to be a longer video. So you may want to pause right now, go get a cup of coffee or tea or something, maybe a notepad, I don't know. But so this is my third deliberate manifestation story, and it's a long one. I actually, because it's so long, I actually printed it out, and you might see me looking down at my notes so I don't miss anything. So, you know, I live in Washington State, and right now I live on the west side of the state. And if you don't know much about Washington State, it's kind of divided into two halves. The western side is the more temperate, wet side, and it's also where Seattle is, and you know, the majority of people actually live on this side. And the eastern side of the state, though, is where I grew up, and it's a desert. It's very hot and dry. It does have 4 seasons. It has snow, you know, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And I still own property over there. And so I was over there working. And so first of all, I want to tell you the name of this one. This is a serious manifestation. I manifested a man, okay? A man. Seriously, I did. So I was in Yakima working on my rental property because I would like to sell it. And it was actually during a heat wave, but I thought the heat wave was more over, so I thought I could do what I needed to do out there. Hey, little dog, you're on the platform. You're wiggling the camera. Come here, get in the blankie. Okay, there we go. Just in case you want to see who this is. This is Mia. Mia. She has got to be with me all the time. So anyway, I was over there, and what I was doing is I was trying to improve the backyard, and I was planting some thuja, you know, to kind of make some privacy in the backyard, and I was planting 13 of them. And so I was digging the holes, and I got to about hole 4, and I was dripping with sweat. My hair was just greasy and horrible, and just I was really sweating profusely. I was still hydrating a lot and all that, but boy, it was some hard going. And so I set an intention. I just stopped for a second, and I thought, I wish a man would be walking down this alley behind me and would offer to dig the holes for me, even though it's so very hot and all that. I thought I would love that to happen. And I set the intention, and then I promptly forgot it, got back to work to dig those holes, because really, in the end, it's my responsibility to dig these holes. So about 10 minutes later, while I'm still working on hole 4, and I'm going to use a very un-PC term, but a hobo man was walking down the alley, and he greeted me, and he said hi, and I said hi, and he took about 2 steps, and he turned around. He said, "Oh hell," and he turned around, and he came over, and he set down all of his baggage and took off some layers of clothing and started digging my holes. And I was kind of amazed because I had just said what I wanted, and then suddenly it was here. And so as he's working, we talk, and he is really easy to talk to, and he tells me about his near-death experience. And of course, I don't like poo-poo him. I'm like, tell me more. I want to hear more about this. And so we start talking. He keeps digging, and he's at hole 11, where he kind of pauses and gives me this really sheepish look, and he said, "Can I use your restroom?" And I said, "Of course you can." And so he picks up all his baggage, and we go up to the second story where I have an open apartment that I've been working on. And I let him use my facilities, and then I set him down, and I give him some cold water that I have in the fridge. And I was living there myself to do some of this work, and I really didn't have any groceries. I had some fruit, and I had some tomatoes, because I love snacking on little tomatoes. And so I cut up and peeled some fruit for him, and then gave him the tomatoes and a little bit of salt. And he said, "How did you know that's my favorite way to eat tomatoes?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. It's my favorite way." So anyway, he tells me his name's Lawrence, and I tell him that's the name of my grandfather. And my grandfather, actually, every time I'm at this house, I think of him, because I'm only 3 blocks away from his house and 3 blocks away from my other great-grandfather's house. And when the bells chime of the church, I often think of them all the time when I'm there. So I'm a little surprised that his name's Lawrence, but that makes it all feel very more comfortable. No red flags there, just like, "Oh, hi, Lawrence." So, I am thinking, Terry, you should be a little bit afraid. You just brought a very transient person into your house. He could rape you, he could hurt you, but for some reason, I'm just not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of him. And so we talk a little bit more, and he tells me more about his adventures in homelessness. And we go back outside, and he finishes the holes. He digs them all up. And when he was in the bathroom, I had snuck out $40 out of my purse and put it in my pocket. And I asked him as he's leaving, can I pay him for doing that work? And so he says, okay. And I give him the money, and he doesn't look at it. He just puts it in his pocket. And he goes away. And so I thank him on his way, but I also thank my angels and guides, my ancestors, for honoring my request and helping me dig those holes and plant those trees, because that was a lot. I should also note right here, my renter on my downstairs apartment comes home and sees him leaving. She is incensed. She's like, "Why would you bring a tweaker into this yard or this house? Why would you, put us in danger from this druggy tweaker guy?" And she doesn't even call him a nice hobo man. I mean, she's calling him all the names in the book. And she is right. He did mention in our talk that he does a little meth from time to time, but not very much, not very often. And I did a little bit worry, because I used to work for a poison center. I kind of worried he could use that $40 to overdose. So it did worry me just a bit. But she was mad. She's like, next time he shows up, I want you to read him the riot act. I want you to threaten him with the law. I want you to kick him out. And part of me is kind of like, okay. But so the next weekend I'm working again outside, and he doesn't show up. But it's more temperate, and I'm doing fine. And then 2 weeks later, in that same area, I am laying a block patio. And the block patio is going down, but it is, Emma, dog, you're sitting on the cable. Here, come, Am's doggy, like a little corgi. She's really old. They're both really, really old. Anyway, there's the M's dog. It was really hot. I actually have my hair up, so I didn't look so horrible. I woke up really early so that it wouldn't be so hot and get it going. And so I thought about Lawrence, and I wondered if he'd be back, but I didn't ask for him to be back or anything. My renter was gone for the weekend, so that made me. I was glad. If he should show up, it wouldn't be so bad. And as I was going out, there was Lawrence. And he pulled up on a bicycle. And of course I greeted him. And he said, "Can I help you?" And he also told me that he took the money I gave him and bought the bicycle so that he could move better around the community and do little small jobs here and there. So that I was really complimented him on his lovely bike. So I really felt happy that he was there and helping me. And I have to tell you, he could not lay a brick patio even to save his life. So I did the evening out. He just brought the bricks to me and I placed them because, yeah, he couldn't do that very well. And then as we're done, he notices that I have this little patch of grass and it's full of weeds, and I'm going to have to pull all those weeds and take that all off. And he's like, "Oh no, let's do it. I want to keep working. I want to keep doing it." He grabbed a shovel and he starts swinging that shovel like a whirling dervish and knocking the dried weeds off and all the things. And I go and get some contractor's bag, and we eventually together fill 4 bags full of weeds to take away. That man was just a seriously hard worker, and I was afraid he's going to give himself a sunstroke or heat stroke. So eventually he was like, "Oh, let me level it." And I'm like, "No," because I'm really afraid at this point that he's going to hurt himself. And I had every intention to not take him upstairs this time, to slightly honor my "You ate all the you ate the flowers," and doggy. I had going to honor my renter and send him away, but I couldn't just send him away because he was working so hard, he was sweating. It was like I really seriously thought he could get hurt. So I told him, "Nope, we have to stop. Bring all your stuff, come upstairs." And so I let him take a shower upstairs because he was so hot. And once he cooled down, then I actually had some food in the house that time, so I gave him some food and some water. And we talked. He was so easy to talk to, and we could laugh at each other or just suddenly laugh without saying anything. There was definitely this funny connection. And he even fell asleep in the chair and took a little nap for a while. And even though I knew I shouldn't let him do that, sorry, my brother keeps calling. And so I kind of kick him in the leg and wake him up and tell him he can't sleep there. But I let him sleep, like at least 10 to 15 minutes because, he's working hard, it's hot, he feels bad. And so I tell him that we need to have a serious conversation. I said, "Lawrence, I'm so thankful that you came to help me. I really am." I said, "But next week my husband's going to come help me," which was true. And he's in the kind of the law enforcement business a bit, and he's not going to like Lawrence. And I let him know, that's not going to be very comfortable for any of us. And I said, "So this is the last time that you can help me." And he goes, "When I first saw you that first time, I just knew you needed help, and you looked so horrible." I'm like, good advice from a hobo man, looks advice. But I'm like, "Yeah, thank you for helping me." And she said, "I was really afraid you were going to hurt yourself, that you could have a stroke, you could overdo it." And he said, "Are you sure you don't need me?" I'm like, "No, I don't need you now. I thank you so much for helping me, but I don't need you." And he talked a little bit more about how nice it was to talk to me, and somehow this was a very easy relationship. And he even after he said, "Are you sure? Is this really the last time?" And I said, "Yes." And I felt bad because I really liked him, actually. I was not afraid of him. I probably should have been, but I wasn't. Anyway, so he went on, and I thought, that's the end of the story. But that's not the end of the story. So about 1 week later, I'm at the house with my husband working, and I'm taking a rest, and he's working in the basement fixing some pipes. And I was thinking about how nice it was to interact with Lawrence, how really lovely it was. What a nice guy. And I was kind of marveling how easily we could talk and laugh with each other, and like we had known each other for ages. It was really and so to pass the time, though, while I was there, I thought I would watch a pick-a-card tarot by one of my absolute favorite readers, and if I can master up the ability to put a link in here, I'll put a link to her for you. It was a love reading, and those are my least favorite. I mean, I just don't want to bother with the love readings for some reason. But I was tired, and I just thought I'd watch it anyway. And so in this kind of reading, what you do is she shows you 3 or 4 cards and usually a crystal or something, and you're supposed to pick the one that draws you to it. So I picked a card, and then she's always time-stamped, and so I went to the timestamp to read my card, and she immediately starts saying she has trouble with the reading right away. She goes, "I don't quite know what's going on here. This is not a love reading in the sense of a romantic love reading. This is something really weird, something really different. It is and it is not about love." And so she proceeds to say that I'm the sitter at this point, has had many incarnations with this person. That is what this is about. That we've been together in many, many lifetimes, in many different situations, but we have not been in a romantic situation ever. But it was a love situation. Maybe we had been a brother or sister together or something like that. And she said, "But this is the last time. This is the last time you will be together." She said, "Because each of you are growing at a different rate, and one of you needs to have a different experience, and you can't do it together. You will never be together again in an incarnation. This is the last time." And I just got so many goosebumps because it's exactly what we said. This is the last time. I said it, Lawrence said it. It's the last time. And I got complete shivers and goosebumps because I knew she was talking about me and Lawrence. And, it was a love relationship in that I loved and respected his spirit, but, I didn't have any romantic intentions with him. Even now, I have to be really careful not to call him back. I've been back to Yakima many times and have not seen him or had him walk down the alley ever again. He never tried to come back at all. It was amazing that I manifested a man to help me. Woo! So that is the story, and this is really, I'm sorry that this one's going to be so long. I'm trying to keep these videos really short, but so one of the things I wanted to do today as well is do a little bit of psychic mediumship. And I have done some meditation before this. If anyone, like I'm not a really good meditator, my mind wants to go all over the place. So I usually use guided meditations, and I have been finding that medium Kim Copeland's guided meditations, like she has some, like today I did her Mayflowers one, and I went soaring and little. It was amazing. It was amazing. I was crying by the end of it, and I don't cry very easy or very much, but let me tell you, I was crying. So I feel prepared to do this. So I'm just going to take a moment here to, get back in contact with my spirits and angels. And I want to say I'm going to put me, and I have 5 questions. Some of them are too long, and I'm going to do them later. I'm going to do parts of them at least. So I'm going to put all 5 of us into a big bubble of light, God's white light, to protect us, to keep us safe, even though I don't think there's anything to be scared of. I just want to have really strong communication. I'm going to ask the angel Gabriel to really come forward and help make this conversation work well. Okay. Shirley has asked, how did my husband Richard die? So we know the relationship. And she also asked, does he have a message for me? So I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to answer your second question first, because it'll be a little easier. So, my heart to Shirley's heart, Shirley's heart to my heart. Richard, would you please come forth and give Shirley a message? Shirley, I am seeing a man. I get the feeling from this man, because I'm always trying to give, some evidence, and I realize doing this, I could really get things wrong, but I'm going to take a chance anyway. I'm getting the feeling from him. I feel like he has something to do with law or police enforcement, or he at least he's got a spirit like that where he's more in control. Okay. So, wow. Okay, so the first thing he's saying is Mikara. And he's just sending love to you. I'm getting all sorts of goosebumps here. What else, Richard? Is there anything else you can give us as some evidence? Emma, get your butt off of that. Kara. He's telling me he enjoyed walks with you. And I want the walks I'm seeing, now I do know where you live, so I'm hoping I'm not using that too much here, but I'm seeing you walk on pavement, not on stones, like a stone pavement, old stone pavement near water, near like a port. And you're walking together. I want to say hand in hand, but I almost see that he's putting his arm around you too. You guys are enjoying yourselves. I do think this is him. Richard, what would you want to tell Shirley? Oh my God, his love for you is very strong. And if he were with you, he'd be hugging you. He would get his face right up against yours. And he says he's proud of you. He wants you to keep going on this spiritual journey. Give your love to the world. Let this love, let this ability that you have shine out to the world. He's up there. He's in your corner. He is, your rally person. He's up there just so happy for you. I know you have a more question, like, how did you die? Richard, would you tell us how you died? Let me look at the note real quick. It's undetermined. How did you die, Richard? I'm again seeing him on an old street, a cobbled street, but big stone pavers, a big stone wall. And it's like there's a turn and there's a downwardness. I don't think it's steps, but it goes down. And I think two things happened at once. Somebody pushed him. Somebody that they argued on the street, or they just said some. I mean, it was some sort of fast interaction, and it was a younger person, and I think it pissed them off a little, and they pushed him as he was turning to go down this thing. At the same time, there was some sort of health thing going on. It's like, I want to say, oh, come on, dog. He had something happened to his heart at the same time. It might have been that this interaction stressed him, or in some way. I think he realized it was more serious than he thought. So as he's falling, something helps. So he hits his head really hard. And I don't really know if it's the head injury or the heart or just a combination of those. So that's what I'm getting. I'm hoping. Okay, that's what I got. And he loves you a lot. I noticed that closer and off the thing so the dogs can't interrupt so much. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Shirley. You know, I can read you more later. Since I know you, you're a friend. I mean, I don't know a lot about you, but I know you. Okay, so AD wants a message from Ruby Brown and Andrew Paul. So hang on, let's see if I can get. I feel like Ruby, I want to say Ruby's a cousin that's a little younger than you. I see Ruby just a little beside you and below you a little bit, which could mean, like a cousin. And oh my goodness, wow. Ruby looks amazing. She has taken on the persona of a Kyle Gray, one of his decks, where she's actually, even though her name's Ruby, she's actually using the red of a ruby. She looks fantastic. Ruby, do you have anything you want to... Oh my goodness. She is reaching up into her headdress, which is like this brilliant, brilliant ruby. And she's comes out with a piece of it. She has a little ruby in her hand, glowing, glowing, beautiful. And she is giving you that ruby. Now, Ruby, what does that mean? She says she's sharing some of her divinity over there with you to help you on your path, to help you spread love to people, to help you spread your heart. And I notice that what she's showing me that she's taking the ruby, and it is red, but she is placing it in your heart, and it turns green. But it's still a flame. It's a flame, a green flame in your heart. Wow. So Ruby is giving you a huge gift here. Wow, that is amazing. Now let's see about Andrew Paul. Andrew Paul, Cozy. Andrew Paul, Cozy. Can you show me your relationship to N, to AD? You know, I think he's kind of he's not a big talker, I think. I think he's a little bit, I don't know if he's shy or what, but I actually see him fishing. He's like in this amazing, amazing sunset. And he's fishing, and he basically saying he's too busy to talk to us right now. I think. Anyway, I see him out there fishing, enjoying himself. But are you sure you don't have a little something you could tell NAD? He's wrapping you up in a plaid shirt. And he's hanging on to your shoulders while he's holding his fishing pole. He's not letting that fishing pole down. Not that he doesn't love you, he loves you, but he is busy. Wow. I'm not really sure what this means, but I don't think he's fishing for fish. He's fishing for men's hearts, for people's hearts, not men as a gender per se. Oh, I think that's part of his heavenly job. Okay, well, he's out there fishing, doing lots of cool stuff that has lots of things to do. Okay, let's move on so I can get a few more of these done. So Nancy's dealing with a really difficult problem, and she wonders if her dad, Louie, has any advice for her. So my heart to Nancy's heart. Nancy's heart to my heart. Thank you, Gabriel. Louie, what? So Nancy, hang on a sec. Gabriel, the Archangel Gabriel is doing something. I am not quite sure what this means, but he is fixing your ears. He's like doing something to your ears, and it's almost like he's putting earmuffs on your ears. And Louis is watching, but he's not interfering because something very important is happening. Louie, do you have a message? It's all about your ears. Mind your ears. And I get the feeling that there's going to be a message for you. And also, though, this is about hearing, and it's about don't listen to every little negative thing you hear. Don't take, there's going to be people with messages that are meaningful to you, and you should not listen to everything. In fact, my grandmother, my horse grandmother, is coming in, and she is reminding me of something she told me that I'm supposed to tell you. And so he's the one that prompted this, but she always told me, especially listen to old people. Listen to all the old people, because they've already lived life, they have a lot of experience. But only take what works for you and leave the rest. So only hang on to what resonates with you and leave the rest. If somebody's telling you something really mean and nasty to try to bring you down, do not listen to it. Don't take it into your head or heart. Okay? I want you to use some medium Kim Copeland's meditations and let Louis speak directly to you. I think he will. I think he will. Okay. Joan, does my late sister Mary have any recommendations on how I can connect more directly with spirit so I can give meaningful readings to others? Okay. My heart to Joan's heart to my heart to Mary. Because Mary talked to me before this. Come on. Joan, I'm getting workbooks. It seems like Mary is showing me that you're going to do readings for people, but that you're going to keep going on this, and you're going to make, I don't mean a whole book, but you're going to provide your sitters with a little workbook, and you're going to give them up to 3 things for them to do to learn more from your reading. So your readings are going to be deeply interactive over time. And I also get the feeling from Mary that you're not going to do hordes and hordes of these. That because that you are going to have to actually go back into the spirit after the reading. Hey you. You're going to go back and give them more homework. Not more than 3 things to do. Some people won't even get 3, but something that they have to think about or cogitate on for a little while that will help them make a clearer journey. Definitely your readings are going to be about journey, about where people are coming and going, and yeah, cool. Okay, boy, this is already a long one. I got one more that I got through email. Andrea, I saw yours in the chat, in the notes, but Andrea, your question is too long. I'm going to have to do that on Zoom or something. So I got another question. I got a question from Dana, and now Dana also has asked too long of a question. I'm going to have to do something on Zoom with her to get all of this in. So I decided that I'm only going to do part of the question, and she wants to know, her grandma Ola, she wants to know what Grandma Ola's experience is right now, where she is, what plans does she have for moving forward, what was dying like, and who is she with? And I love this question. One of the things that medium Kim and Susan Lynn taught us in our class was how to, once we get in contact with somebody, how one of the questions we can ask is, what are you doing? What are you doing over there to pass the time? Okay, so Dana. Dana, I probably am saying it wrong, Dana. My heart to Dana's. Dana's heart to mine. Grandma Ola, can you come forward? Hang on, Grandma Ola, please show me more of yourself. I am getting the feeling she's a very humble woman, but a very powerful woman. She was very powerful in life. In that, I don't mean like she was a senator or something like that, but in that she could powerfully talk to people and tell them what to do. She had her foibles, and those may have been bigger in life than the power. You might not have noticed her power as much as you noticed her foibles. Grandma Ola, give me another piece of evidence that I actually have you, that you are Dana or Dana's grandmother. She's showing me a tree. It looks like maybe a cedar tree, but some sort of conifer. And it has a burn going through it, like it got struck by lightning. And the burn goes like from way high all the way down to the ground. And that tree was alive still. I don't know if that was in her yard or she's showing me about her. Something live, but something that lightning liked to strike, or she didn't have the smoothest of life, but it's also because lots of stuff was going on with her. So Grandma Ola. Do I have you? Yes. Okay. Grandma Ola. Can you tell us what you're doing right now? First of all, maybe tell us where you are. She says she's in a recovery center in heaven, where the people go when they first cross over if they need a little bit of rest and healing to recover. But she's having the time of her life there. She's not only getting help, she is helping others. She's enjoying herself. Come, little dog. And yeah, she is having fun there. She knows that she could go to other parts of heaven and that she could do other jobs, but right now she's staying there because she likes it so much. Come, little dog, quit whining. Come, little dog. There you go. And oh my goodness, she's so pretty over there. She's got like a rainbow on her. She's got like, I keep almost seeing wings on her, like she's a little fairy. And I keep seeing kind of turquoise and aquas and pinks and oranges glistening in the wings or glistening around her. Let's see, what else did you ask? What was dying like? She said it was a blink, not even a full second. It was easier than being born. And there she was on the other side, just boom, just. She felt like she emerged, like I almost see her like popping out of a tunnel, like, and looking almost like a fairy with their little wings popping out. And she said it was a relief. It wasn't as scary as she thought because it was so fast, so fast. She was really happy too, because not only did she feel, of course, lovely and happy there, she's showing me a lot of pets, a lot of animals. Okay, some of those, they make her very happy. Anything more? Even with these animals, there's some bugs in there. I don't know. I don't get the bugs thing, but the beetles and bugs. Okay. Well, she's quite happy, and she's really having the time of her life out right now, and she loves being of service. It seems like this might be slightly different for her. In past lives, maybe she wasn't quite as of service, but now she is, and she is enjoying it so much. She's really, in her wholeness, she's really beautiful, really beautiful, and really just those glistening, lovely, soft colors. Yeah. And you can say stuff to her. Maybe I kind of get the feeling she wants you to just say hi before you go to bed. Okay, so that's, I will maybe contact you through your email to see if we can set up something to talk a little bit more, because you have a very big question. And Andrea, the same thing, big question. So, okay. So thank you for hanging in with me this long. I generally won't do them this long because it's quite a lot to listen to. So share, like, subscribe, tell others about it if you want them to see this. And also, please go on with your manifestation journeys. But I just want to also let people know that to be careful about that. I don't go around just wishing for anything or manifesting anything. It's very rare that I do that, and it's well thought out. So please be careful of that. Please think these things out before you do it. And just know that everybody over there loves us and is just can't wait to talk to us. Okay, bye.